If you know me, I am the last person that should be giving any kind of cooking advice, but here we go. We were talking about the everything bagel bread, and I'm talking about using a bread machine, okay? I don't know anything about the kitchen. I'm allergic to the kitchen. If you guys know, you know. I was gifted a bread machine, which was a huge lifesaver. Shout out to mom and dad. And this is literally the game changer. I'm gonna walk you through the recipe for the everything bagel bread because a lot of people tend to like it. I'm gonna start with a 1.5 pound loaf. Bread machines usually come in a 1.5 pound or a 2 pounder. I'll link one in my link tree that I would buy if I needed to buy one today. One of the things that you do want is one of these chambers above that puts the toppings in after. You're not gonna need it for today, but just letting you know, 1 cup of water. And I'll put the instructions at the end. I'll put the ingredients listed on the end because I know people hate it when you don't do that. The water should be warm. That is actually a trick I learned. I guess it does something to the yeast. Getting it warm. While that's getting warmer, we're gonna grab the next ingredients. Olive oil, 1.5 teaspoons. I'm only gonna use the 1/2 teaspoon because I don't feel like going through more dishes than I need to, and I know I'm gonna need this again for the next one. I'm doing this 3 times. 2, 3. 1 cup of warm water. 1.5 tablespoons of honey. I kind of eyeball it because I kind of already know. So I'm gonna do raw honey. I like raw honey. These squeeze bottles, in theory, work really well, but they almost never are something I can use long term. 1 teaspoon of salt. I use kosher salt. I probably am supposed to switch to something else because I know there's a whole lot of things going on about salt. Different conversation for a different video. 1.5 teaspoons of powdered milk. Tip: get the buttermilk. I don't know why, it just has better flavor, it has better everything, and you can use this in a lot of stuff. 2 2/3 cups of bread flour. Now here's the part that I wish someone had told me because the first few times I did any bread machine recipes, I totally messed this up, but make sure you sift your flour. Do not just scoop it. I've heard this is a good brand. I don't really know. This is what was at my store and I got it. Why bread flour? I don't know. Again, I don't kitchen. I was told to get bread flour because it would be lighter and fluffier, so better for bread. In order to sift, I'm literally taking a big spoon. You're gonna have to put this cup in here and you're gonna shake the flour over the cup until you fill it up. So you're shaking it. You just want it to be airy. You don't want to just scoop it directly from the bag. Believe it or not, it makes a difference because your bread will get way too dense. You can get a bread sifter. I don't have one. This is what I do. This is what I do because this is what I have. And if you guys have any suggestions on things to make this faster, I'm all ears. Some of y'all know a lot more about kitchening than I do. So please, please put it in the chat. Let me know what I'm missing in my life. That would make this so much easier. Scoop it off. 1. We're doing it again. Bloop. 1/3. We're gonna do 2 of them. 1 teaspoon and a pinch of active dry yeast. By the way, they have bread machine yeast. I don't personally know how much of a difference it makes. I just always get the bread machine yeast because I'm using a bread machine. 1.5 teaspoons. I double mine. So 1.5 is what I do. The recipe actually says 3/4, but I'm telling you, you're not gonna get it. Like, I could even do more than double. Like, I love everything bagel and I love extra flavor in my bread. But 1.5 tablespoons, 1.5 tablespoons of everything bagel. Shout out McCormick. I like this one. Bloop, bloop. And literally, you're gonna close it. Make sure it's on the right size setting. And I'm putting it in the white bread setting. Start. It'll be done in 3.5 hours. I let it cool. I can cut it and do whatever I want with it. While we let that do its thing, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the recipe here. This is everything that I would be doing if it was a 1 pound loaf. And here's everything I would be doing if it is a 1.5 pound loaf.